Hello friend, this is Harsha from Academic Knowledge Institute. So here you are seeing the image. There are herbs, shrubs, climbers, trees, creepers. So we classify this plant according to their size. But how exactly we classify the plants in a deep? So today we are going to see that. Our today's topic is classification of plants. This is very interesting topic and I hope you all love it. Let's start. The first thing is living organism. What is living organism? Like the organism who are doing the breathing, who are like having the specific growth, who are doing the respiration. These organisms we call them as a living organism. Living organisms are mainly divided into two types, prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Prokaryotic is kingdom Monera and eukaryotic divided into two types, that is unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular is protista and multicellular is again divided into two types, with cell wall or without cell wall. We humans we don't have a cell wall in our cells, but plants are having the cell wall and the cell wall is very prominent, so they comes in this category. Again, these plants are divided into two categories, autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs, that means those who are making their own food, and heterotrophs, those who cannot make their own food. Why plants are autotrophs? Because they are having the chlorophyll. With the help of sunlight, carbon dioxide, water, they are making, and as well as with the help of chlorophyll, they are making their own food. So that's why they are the autotrophs. So how we classify these plants? Today we are going to learn. The group of autotrophic living organism having eukaryotic cells with the cell walls is the group of plant. Like autotrophic living organism. Just right now I told you what is exactly the autotroph. Autotrophs means those who are making their own food, and they are having the prominent cell wall. So they comes in the group of planting, group of plants. In 1883, Ischler, a botanist, classified the kingdom Plantae into two subkingdoms. As a result, two subkingdoms are cryptograms and phenograms, and we consider for the classification. Who is the botanist? The botanist is like the person who studies about the plant trees. And what was the name of botanist who made this classification? Ischler. When he did? In 1883. You see here, this is the kingdom Plantae. It's divided into two types, that is cryptograms and phenograms. And cryptogram is again divided into three types, that is Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. And phonogram is divided into two types, that is gymnosperm and angiosperm. And angiosperm is again divided into dicotyledons and monocotyledons. So now we will study one by one. The first, that is cryptograms. Cryptogram. What exactly mean the cryptograms? Crypto means hidden and gams means reproductive organs. It is a plant or a plant-like organism that reproduces by spores without flowers or seeds. It is also called as non-seed bearing plants. Like see here, this is the ulva plant. So this is just a plant or plant-like organism and they reproduce by the spores. They don't have a flowers, they don't have a seed, and we call them as a non-seed bearing plant also. The first division, that is the Thallophyta. These plants grow mainly in water. Where exactly they grow? They grow in water. This group of plants which do not have specific parts like roots, stem, leaves, flowers but are autotrophic due to presence of chlorophyll is called as algae. See here, this ulva plant. They don't have proper parts like roots, stem, leaves, flowers. You will not see anything here. But they are autotrophic because there is a presence of chlorophyll. So that's why they comes in the category of algae. And nowadays you will see the algae everywhere because it's a rainy season. So all algae they are comes in the category of Thallophyta. They may be unicellular, multicellular and microscopic or large. Like they may be unicellular or multicellular. There are some algae which we cannot see them with our naked eyes. So for seeing them we need some microscope, and there are some algae they are large, so we can see them with our naked eyes. The examples of algae are Spirogyra, Ulethrix, Ulva, Sargassum, etc. And some of these are found in a fresh water, some are found in a saline water. Saline water means sea water or creek water, and some are found in the fresh water, that means river, then spring, pond, lake and all these things. And these plants usually have the softer fiber like body. They are very soft and they are very fiber like body. And the various types of fungi like yeast, molds which do not have the chlorophyll are also included in this group. Like there are some fungi like yeast and molds. We use yeast for fermentation process. They are in the category of fungi, but they also comes in this category. Understood? Okay. See here these plants. Ulva, Chara, Spirogyra. They don't have a root, stem, leaves, all these things, but they comes in a category of heterotropics because they are having the chlorophyll, and this is the first division, that is the Thallophyta. See here. This Spirogyra is having this prominent cell wall. This nucleus is here and this paranoid is here. This is the spiral chloroplast, and chloroplast is having the chlorophyll. Then this is the division second, that is Bryophyta. This group of plants is called as the amphibians. We know to whom we call them the amphibians. Amphibians are the species, are the animals those who are living on land as well as in water. So these plants, why we call this plant as amphibian? Because they grow in moist soil but need a water for the reproduction. And these plants are thalloid, multicellular and autotrophic. They are multicellular and they are autotrophic, and they are thalloid. They reproduce by the spore formation. See here, here there was capsule were present first, and then capsule burst, then the spores are come out, and this spore will spread and they will reproduce again. The structure of a plant body of a bryophyte is flat, ribbon-like long, without true roots, stem and leaves. Here, like this here, they are like flat and ribbon-like long, and they don't have a true root, stem and leaves, but they are having the leaf-like parts or stem-like parts or root-like parts like a rhizoids, and they don't have any specific tissue for the conduction of a food and water. Like for the conduction of a food and water, plants are having xylem and phloem, but here these plants don't have a xylem and phloem. The examples are moss, Merchandida, Anthroceros, then Rica. See, this is the Funaria plant. This is the leaf-like parts, and this capsule is here. This capsule will get burst, and then the spore will come out. They will spread, and then again they will reproduce. See, these are the small rhizoids. They are the root-like structure, but they are not a root. Then this is the third division, that is Pteridophyta. The plants of this group, they are having the well-developed roots, stem, leaves, and they are having the separate tissues for the conduction of a food and water. Like they are having xylem and phloem, but they don't have a flower and fruits. And they also reproduce with the help of the spores. And where the pores are present, they are like on the back or posterior surface of their leaves. And examples are ferns like Nephrolipis, Marsilia, Petris, Addington, Epistem, Selangula, Lycopodium, etc. These plants reproduce asexually by the spore formation and sexually by the zygote formation. It is not necessary that all plants will produce asexually only. There are some plants that produce sexually also. When they produce asexually, they produce by spore formation, and when they produce sexually by the zygote formation. These fern plants you may have seen in so many malls and all that, because they make their colonies very easily and they don't need a lot of precautions or a lot of care, so they can easily grow. And they are having a well developed conducting system like a xylem and phloem, and they are called as the cryptograms because their gametes are hidden, like their reproductive organs are hidden. See here there are some examples of this. This is a Selengia, this is Lycopodium. See, this is the sporangia on a story on a leaflet. So this will get burst and they will form the new plant. So I hope you all understood this. In the next lecture we will see the phanerograms, and if you have any doubt about this, then please ask me in the comment box. Thank you so much.